How much time do you want cutscenes to take in a patch? Genuinely. Okay, Gilgamesh. We can get somewhere with that. All I want is for HSR, Wuthering Waves, and Genshin Impact to do exactly what Zenless Zone Zero is doing. And that is a very fucking easy ask because it already exists. It's in the same exact niche. There's no excuse to not be able to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Loki here, back at it again with another YouTube video. Now, I don't necessarily consider this drama. I just think it's been blown out of proportion and people are considering it drama because that's just how the Hoyo community / the Kuro bots, that is literally how people are whenever someone has a very strong opinion and they disagree with it. And if multiple people disagree with it, then it is considered drama, right? And I do think a lot of people are misunderstanding the point. The only person that really understood the point is someone that has, and regardless of how you feel about them or not, they have a lot of insight because they've done this before. Well, they've worked with people that have animated things before, right? So they understand how this works. So I want to start this video off before we get into Smack's video. And this is essentially, there's a reason I prefaced the video with the beginning of Smack's video, just because all he's saying is Zenless they keep you engaged with their cutscenes with the comic book style. They have a plethora of cutscenes, and then there's obviously the static dialogue, but Zenless is definitely known for being more expressive, right? And we'll get more into that later.
They take 4 models. I'm gonna mute Doro. Not that I don't like him. Doro's great. They take 4 models and they press idle pose 1. And this is why they're all standing there just breathing. Okay? Then they have the little layout and they insert dialogue and they put in fade left to right. And then the dialogue comes in. When he crosses his arms, they press a button. Idle pose 2. Okay? And now the rest are just sitting there. Idle pose 2. The lips are not synced. Okay? Talk. This time period, this time period. That's it. They're not synced. The Joe Biden has nothing to do with it. Right? Another NPC talks, they say mouth open, talk equals yes. Dialogue come in left to right, idle pose 3. And then they just remain in idle pose. And that's it. And I want to let you know that dialogue option just took 15 fucking seconds. Yes, talk equals.
Now, here, hold on. I think he continues.
It is not hard. It is very low effort work. If you were an animator or worked with animators, you would know how low effort that those type of dialogue options are.
So I bring that up just to dismantle the one argument of they work so hard, right? I'm sure they work hard, but they're not working harder than Mappa animators who can barely see their families and are getting paid scraps compared to what a lot of the Hoyo dev team, the Kuro dev team, what they're getting paid. Now, another thing I did want to bring up was the phone storage space issue. If you're adding more cutscenes, then obviously the file size is gonna increase. But another point that Techie did mention was if you're cutting out a lot of that dialogue bloat, a lot of the Paimon repeating what you already know, what you should have been paying attention to, then it makes room for that. However, Zenless Zone Zero is doing this thing where you're able to go back and delete old files that you don't need anymore, and that's going to free up some phone space. If that's being implemented, all these other games can implement it as well. Also, we're probably not going to watch the entire react. I'm essentially right now just Eminem 8-miling the comment section by providing all these counterpoints before you even get a chance to like enter comment. But also, preface, my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy IX, which came out 24 years ago, and That is, in my opinion, one of the greatest stories ever told. I love that game. It's my absolute favorite game of all time. And then obviously FF7, FF7 Remake, Rebirth, those games have incredible storytelling. And Smack basically is just saying we need more walking and talking, right? Instead of this static where there's just text on the screen, or even if it's like voice acted, ZZZ has come up with an approach that is very unique, where they have the comic book style. Yes, it's like static, but it's hand-drawn images that are very unique and they keep you engaged. So here's this point that I did want to bring up. I believe someone in chat mentioned that they were in school for this.
Of intrigue. Oh, I love these. I love these kind of comments because they give insight into like things that I'm dealing with as a content creator, things that content creators deal with, and they're studying it in school. All right, is that if you go to B school and talk about specializing in business gaming, one of the topics of intrigue is how to monetize behavior. Wow. Yeah, I bet they got that shit going on in these gacha companies, boys. How to monetize behavior, man. Yep, I bet they do. And well, this is not a surprise, right? Gacha companies have some of the most brilliant minds in psychology and business, and they're literally constantly having meetings about how these gacha consumers think, act, their motive, okay? What they do with their day-to-day time, what they value, what they don't value. And they're saying, how can we put this shit in play to put him in an infinite Tsukuyomi? To
get them to spend over and over and over and over and to keep coming back, and to also immediately defend our company and say everything is fine, right? With that in mind, let's get right into the video.
It's currently at 432,000 views. That's insane, huh? 262 quotes, 155 comments, and a lot of angry people. Now, I want to go over some of the things that these guys are saying. Maybe they've been cooking. First, I also just want to make you guys aware of what's been happening. Okay, so this was just 1 hour ago. Let's go over this one. He's right. Everyone's mad because he's okay, so this guy's agreeing with me. Okay, this is a rare sight. This is a rare sight. Everyone's mad because he's spot on. What's going on here? Seriously, the developers of these gacha games, who are probably raking in billions every year, really need to step up their storytelling game. If they just put a little more effort into how they tell the story, rather than just having characters stand around talking while you click and read, it could be so much better. Wait, bro's on my side. That's insane. Is this a gacha game or a visual novel though? I mean, come on. It actually.
Also, at the end of the day, Smack is doing this for the betterment of the community. Like, everyone's taking it as like their games are being attacked. He's doing it so this gets noticed and potentially improved upon. Now, will that happen? Probably not, but you know, it's fun to just like give your insight and say, hey, if you get enough eyes on this, who knows, man? Who knows what can happen?
Actually makes sense that improving the way they tell stories could boost their profits. Gacha games rake in money from character pools, but imagine if those characters had a deeper story. Fans would love that. And hey, more love for the characters could mean more spending. Win-win, right? But hey, is there actual proof that improving storytelling leads to higher profit? Well, I would invoke God of War in Final Fantasy VII into that immediately. Hell, I'd even put Elden Ring in there, and now it's got a unique approach to storytelling, but I would say absolutely. Eddie Torrent, 5 USD, thank you. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is we don't always chat. At what point is enough profits, right? If they lose money giving a better story, but they make plenty of profits, that's okay. Here's the thing. People seem to think that they have to always make a profit. Sometimes you go, wow, we just went from being a small indie company to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate to the point where I think we want to get back a little and that's improve this story and maintain a customer that's been in front of us for quite some time.
100%.
It doesn't always have to be we need to make another dollar. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, taking care of those customers.
You get a company that's like known for just incredible storytelling, right? Like Square Enix, right? You're well, Squaresoft combined with Enix years ago, but either way, their net worth is like a little over $1 billion, right? Hoyo is 24 times that with a way less intriguing story. I'm not saying the story is like just complete dog water. Like there are great moments in a lot of these Hoyo game stories. There are great moments, but they're so few and far between, and that's where Smack is getting at, right? This could be improved upon from a company that makes 24 times what the makers of FF7 make.
Will actually end up making you the dollar anyways in the long run. So I don't want to make it a let's find the comments that agree with me.
Also, you would 100% like draw in more players if there was like incredible storytelling. Like I'm sure there are people that play Elden Ring not just for the combat, but for the story. Like I'm sure those people exist.
Though, let's scroll down. Let's get in the freaking thick of it. Let's start off with this guy, because this guy is a
and also a few content creators did weigh in on this, so I definitely wanted to include this part.
Content creator in the space. I've never spoken to him once in my life, and he chose to jump on this topic. I don't want to attack people, but I do find it interesting, guys. As I said before, out of all the things to jump on, right? We had Tectone being accused of egregious things without literally any proof, right? Silent as the grave, right? We got all kinds of shit, the Niji Sanji drama going, real icky shit going on the internet. Bro said, I'm gonna jump up and be Captain Save-A-Ho for Smack asking for more cutscenes. I don't understand that, man. You know, I really don't understand that logic. I was like, brother, out of all the things you want a Captain Save-A-Ho asking for more cutscenes? Okay, well, all right, let's do it. Let's see what he said. Everyone is entitled.
Also, tangent, at the end of the day, I'm just providing my insight. If you don't like this topic, or if you're just the Hoyo shield that's okay with your story, I mean, it's okay if you're okay with the story, but like, don't give me hate. Take your ass over to Gacha Smack's video and click dislike. Leave me alone, bro. I'm just providing my insight as someone who's played very good stories in their lifetime, someone who has a lot of experience in this, right? That's all.
To their opinion, okay? But I'll never understand comparing two completely different media types for this reason. So I want to understand this part, because this is like a bit confusing to me. Is Gacha Games in chat? Come in on this. I want to hear this.
This part, Techie went over this as well. I mean, it's not a different media type. It's the same thing. This is a reach. This is a reach. So I mean, the whole argument is dismantled because of this this part that was typed. It's not a different media type.
Comparing the two, I'm tired of digesting dog shit over 6 hours when I could just have some McDonald's, which is still not good for you, but way better than dog shit over 6 hours. I get it in 25 minutes. Way more efficient. I'm a busy man. I own 2 businesses. I already know. I say this all the time. I got a daughter. Big news coming soon on the way as well. It's like, I don't want to spend that, right? And you know what's funny? This is where the shields and the gotcha brain rot audience are gonna say, well, don't you pay game? Well, I'm getting a bag off of it. So at the end of the day, at least I get paid, but you don't. You know what I mean?
Oh, the subtle
This is what I'm here to say. I'm not the only one that feels this way, right? I make easy 6 figures off of this shit, but I'm not the only one that feels this way. There's a lot of people out there that do feel this way. And let's face it, guys, gotcha game dialogues are the
it's he's probably gonna say it's like one of the worst ways to tell the story. When it comes to the static just standing, like expressionless, and we talked about it in the tech tone vid, the idle 1, idle 2 with text on the screen, it's so draining for me. For me personally, and there's no, I mean, I guess you could disagree with this, I guess, but like, oh gosh, I get so drained. Like I try to stream that, and it makes me want to click end stream and just like do it later. It's so draining. It's so mentally draining. There's no way that a lot of us are just in the minority here. There's just no way. That part is just boring, right? And then you get your little bit of serotonin boost from a cutscene, right? You see Facial shoot an arrow with a 20-second cutscene causing all this well, it didn't cause that much devastation. If they really wanted that cutscene to hit, it should have just destroyed the what area was it? It's the area we had that one mini game where you stack the merchandise in the Xianzhou. If that area would have been destroyed and it would have just been left a wreckage from that would have hit a little bit different. But it was like a 20-second cool cutscene. But like, I mean, you can give us a minute and a half, 2 minutes right there, you know, because she had to make her way over there as well. Show us how that happens. I was going somewhere else with this point. I literally forgot. It's ADHD.
Worst compliments to classic turn-based gaming. Gacha dialogue is a horrible compliment to classic turn-based games like Final Fantasy 7 through 9, like Persona.
Ooh, he said through 9, bro. 9. Mind you, this game came out in the year 2000. I remember because everyone was worried about Y2K. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna lose all like electronical devices." Like everyone was freaking out in the year 2000. It was insane. Final Fantasy 9, while they're, oh gosh, the storytelling's insane. And that game's not voice acted. 9 is original. OG 7, 8, and 9 are not voice acted. 10 was the first one that was voice acted, which is why a lot of people say that 10's like their favorite. I think Ryuku, I didn't react to his video, his HSR sucks video, but I do know he did mention in that video that his favorite game of all time was Final Fantasy 10. And I truly believe a lot of people find 10 as their favorite Final Fantasy just because it's the first Final Fantasy that was voice acted. 9 is incredible. Even like the static, like standing still, you can't express with the face because the graphics are so dog shit back then, but like the movement has expression behind it. There's like, oh man, it's insane. If you Final Fantasy 9 game came out 24 years ago. This is a cutscene of Atomos destroying Lindblom, right? Look at the look of horror on Dagger's face. Like, watching this was insane. This was insane watching this like as a child. Atomos just destroys everyone in Lindblom. And guess who summoned it? I mean, spoiler. Her mom's up, well, her adopted mother summoned it. But like, this is a 2 minute 46-second cutscene. This is more than we get in an entire patch, right? And we learned before that what they currently do in these gacha games is very low effort. It's very low effort. And you know what? All you have to do is allocate resources to, hey, party A, you work on this, party B, you work on this, party C, you work on this. It's so simple to do with the amount of resources they have. $24 billion is insane. I don't think people realize how much money that is. That is insane. This can easily be done. And again, I just showed you a cutscene from a game that came out 24 years ago, bro. 24 years ago.
Complement to classic turn-based games like Final Fantasy 7 through 9, like Persona, like Legends of Dragoon, like Legends of Legaia, like Chrono Trigger, like Chrono Cross, all the classic turn-based tales we grew up that had meaningful dialogue, meaningful character development, and no dialogue was wasted. That
exactly, not the repeated dialogue. Hey, we just told you this bit of information and now we're going to repeat it to make sure that you were paying attention. That wastes so much time. Just cut all of that out and allocate those resources elsewhere.
That is the dialogue that we used to enjoy, and now gacha games are trying to do that. But except, here's one thing, chat. Do you know that these gacha game writers literally prioritize quantity over quality? Metaphor is another good example. Developers often prioritize story quantity over quality, aiming for 7 to 10 hours of content per patch. They prioritize this, and why do they do it? I've already spoken about this, chat. Please look at this. It's a proof that HSR devs are lazy. Techie pointed it out yesterday. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Okay. Rappa perfectly.
Yeah, prioritizing quantity over quality. I mean, obviously, the more they keep you playing, the better it looks, right? Gosh, I don't know. It's tough. Like, obviously, they would lose money if they reduce some of that quantity, but I think they would gain a lot of that money elsewhere from just giving us quality content. Can you imagine if HSR was nominated for like best storytelling or something? Can you imagine if any of these gachas were nominated up there with like God of War, up there with like Elden Ring for like best storytelling because the story was just that damn good? That would get a lot more eyes on the game for sure. You would be able to monopolize people from not only like anime, because like obviously a lot of people that play gachas are into anime. Not everyone, but there are some. But there's definitely like a majority. You'd be able to monopolize people from all other facets of media that then come to your game, spread the word, and get more eyes on your game.
Oppie's Dan Hung move cutscenes. Oh, good. Ooh, this. I wasn't.
Yeah, this is just literally. It's the same. It's the same photo.
Hell. All right, hold on. Okay, Star Wars. Fine. It's weeks.
I believe that's Mac's first time seeing this as well, because he didn't play 2.6 story, so.
Oh no. Oh no, bro. No. Wait, first of all, why is she throwing that bitch like a gay bug? She don't even got a spear. Why is she throwing that hole like a spear? Caught in 4K, man. Oh my god, dude.
Damn.
I think now we could go over and find brother's shit. Let's find his. Hold up.
Here we go.
Oh, there it is, bro. Bro put clown emojis. Like I really said something crazy, right? He put clown emojis, chat. Making anime and making video game cutscenes are two totally different things. Chat, I want y'all to explain. I don't respect this guy. I think the only person that can match my my bluntness in this community really is Tech Talk. I'm serious. What I mean by that is I'm not the type to beat around the bush. I'm not the type to go live and pretend like I like somebody or like just give them the benefit. No. I think the only other motherfucker in this community deadass is Tech Talk, who's gonna straight up come out and say it. I don't fuck with this guy. I'm gonna be honest. And it's and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's only because what I see from him right here in real time is it's similar to like grifting. It's similar to, I'll put it this way. The guy wakes up and goes, what's trending and what are the people saying? Okay, this is the comment I'm gonna make. Oh, they're all saying this. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like there's no real, like, he didn't jump on this to have a productive conversation. This is my problem. It's not like he was trying to have a good conversation. It's not like he was trying to improve upon.
I didn't actually notice that the first time, but literally, where are we at? 1208. Two completely different media types. It's the same thing. He said the same thing that guy was saying. He didn't even like try to use his own words. That's funny.
It's not like he was trying to improve upon the space. It was literally, bandwagon moment. You know what I mean? It was like, in this right here is literally regurgitated 87 times, and he's not the catalyst. He's not. It's like, that was my problem.
Yeah, it'd be different if he said it first.
You want to join
sure.
Exactly. I've seen him do it a lot of times. And here's the thing about me. I will never call you out. I will mind my business. I will let you be fake as I will let you get your bag. I will never butt in. But the minute you step over to my motherfucking territory, oh, well, that is when shit gonna get icky. You know what I mean? And he stepped over into my territory. So now we got to go here and do this. Game devs are overworked and video game crunch is already sadly in.
That's not true. If anyone's overworked, like I said earlier, it's like animators. Animators are overworked. Those motherfuckers do not get the love that they deserve. I mean, like it sucks, bro. It sucks. They are so overworked, it's disgusting. Game devs, well, Hoyo game devs are not overworked. They work hard, sure, for sure, 100%. But like what we just talked about, like they're not working hard all the time. What we just talked about, the static dialogue, the insert text here, expression there, that's something they could do within like 20 minutes. That isn't working hard. That's not working hard at all.
Industry standard. Here's my problem with these type of things.
6-week cycle update is insanely fast. A lot of this, the content that you see is well in development for like a very, very long time. Feature patch for game I really like, without being too specific, is done. It's done. It's completely done. The only thing that is being worked on now is bugs and making sure the game works without being overly specific. And then if you have a brain, you know what game I'm talking about. But it's all done, and I know that for a fact. So that is this is incorrect.
This is what I mean by adding nothing to the discussion. All you did was you listed a broadly generalized fact, right? Game devs are overworked. True.
But yeah, this part we can skip. I've already explained this. Okay, so here he mentions, so I believe FF7, I believe it was FF7 remake that was in production for 3 years before it was released, whereas Genshin Impact was 4 years before it was released, which is insane because 1.0 Genshin was bland. That was extremely bland, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is where I wanted to continue.
I'm saying, it's like, why are we searching for reasons to defend billion-dollar companies? Furthermore, why are you shooting the motherfucker that's on your side? I'm trying to make the space better for y'all, and you out here defending against the nigga trying to make the space better. Like, what are we doing? You out here friendly firing, brother. I'm trying to make the space better.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand that, bro. All right, bro. I am blown away by this chat. Let me read some of these comments because I want to make sure I'm not just, this isn't just the y'all showed up to watch Gacha smack talk. You know what I mean? I want to make sure y'all didn't just like come up here and watch me talk and then I never ever read the comments. Let's hear what y'all are talking about. So true. They have been thinking 6 months prior about every single season before the first season or release of IP. They are thinking backwards for some reason. Well, they don't even make story content in 6 weeks. They make a new region and it's story content in at least a year.
I don't believe Smack reads this, but I remember being in chat. 2.1 live stream, the HSR devs themselves said they prepare for a patch a year plus beforehand. So, you know, I will just take that at face value. If that's true, that goes towards this point.
Here, not so even more. They have more time to make a polished story. Okay, so it seems like people are defending. I'm gonna read everything. These people defending these companies are nuts. Like Stefan Nutsack in my am I about to start a train here, bro? Sip balls in his mouth. Okay. Maybe the space is already good enough for them. Oh my God, man. And okay, acknowledge. Hear me out. If the space is already good enough for them, then fuck off with my content. Because I am making content for clearly a different audience that the space isn't good enough for them, right? So if the space is already good enough for you, why are you even watching my content? Why are you even watching the scrutiny, the critiques? The space is good enough for it.
Saint Tontos was in chat. I just want to bring that up because someone added him. But if his video will probably be out by the time my video's out. The problem I have with this guy, he doesn't understand that just because Smack used Wuthering Waves as an example, Saint Tontos will always defend that game, and it's like, oh, but like the expressions in Wuthering Waves, even though it's the same dog shit static, not moving dialogue, our expressions are slightly better than HSR. It's still shit. It's just a golden polished herd, but it's still a turd. Like it blows my mind. He just never talks about like the negatives. That's like oh God, bro. Literally, this is why people call you a curl bot. This is literally why.
For you. Then just continue playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. It's that simple. People also got to realize every update is worked on in advance, not just within those 6 weeks. Well, that's exactly what I'm sitting here talking about, Nautilus. Not only is it worked on, here's my other thing. I got to make sure we point this out. These people are actually of the ideology that Hoyoverse is running a marathon every 6 weeks.
They're not.
They think that Hoyoverse is like, we barely made it. We made it just in time, right up into the nip of the patch. Oh, and now we gotta.
And then obviously that's not true because like betas exist, right? Early access exists. Like, obviously these updates are done well before. You know, there's some things they get through, like Aventurine not shielding properly, and hopefully that gets fixed, but they are done well in advance. Otherwise betas would not exist. What do you think the beta is there for? Hey, here's our patch we put together a while back. We just want to make sure it's playable and it doesn't have like any like excess amount of bugs and enemies don't have too much HP. We need you to test that for us. So defending them, thinking they're working like giga hard. I mean, granted, I won't take that away from them. I'm sure they are working hard, but they're not like on their deathbed over here getting these updates out.
Do it again. We got to do it again, guys. In another 6 weeks, I really hope we hit that deadline. I really hope we hit that deadline. Like, bro, they're not doing that, man. I'm sorry to tell it to you. They might be done, bro, about week 3, bro, because you have to look at the content consumption. I want to go back to what this guy said. Chat, I'm going to read some more. I want to go back to what this guy said, though. Okay. The other guy. Why are we comparing a weekly anime to be digested in 25 minutes to a game with updates every 6 weeks to be digested over multiple hours? So the every 6 weeks, right? I find that interesting because everyone is done with the content in 3 days. Then we have the remaining 6 weeks and we land in dramas like this because there ain't shit else to do. And I ain't even try to create this damn drama. I'm convinced y'all started this one just for fun. You know what I'm saying? But like, because all I did was say, yo, we need some more cutscenes. There's not even 6 weeks of content. There's not. Even, I don't care what level of content that you play these games, what level you play them at, there's not 6 weeks of content. You could play it from a hardcore level. Obviously, that's going to be scratched off. You could play it from a casual level. You're still going to be done with the content well before the 6 weeks is done with. Like it's like making this an excuse for watching these fucking games it's bizarre to me. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see what this guy said. Somebody put something up here that I wanted to read. That's the shit that upsets me. They dictate what the devs can and can't do. If the devs can do it, then let the devs say no, don't answer for them. Yeah, exactly.
True.
100%.
That's true. That's a good comment.
There's another guy I wanted to read though. Hold on. Nah, you spit, and defending the company and being passive aggressive as fuck about it is so cringe. Honestly, wanting improvements is not drama or bad. Rage GS 5 USD.
This is why I said this video isn't drama. Like, if it's drama, then it's the community that's making it drama. Like, wanting just like better quality content when you're giving them just absurd amounts of money, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And if you disagree, then like I don't know what to tell you. If you're content, that's a totally different issue. That's fine. You can be content, right? But like, don't like defend it. Defending it's a little like weird, especially when you don't know anything about like business, right? That's a little strange.
Thank you so much. Insane how
you were
anime
dev
studios
yourself,
are
then feel free to like
overworked, but
comment.
make more engaging and clean scenes versus companies that make millions per month. Spit the facts, my G. Okay, that actually led me into another discussion, chat. I want to talk about this next. Another confusion that I saw with these people on Twitter is they think that Hoyoverse is overworked and they don't understand the value of actual like of money,
of cash.
They don't understand
Yeah, we went over this earlier.
Of cash. It's like, do you understand that when you have an abundance of cash, you have unlimited resources to hire people to get jobs done? It's
I said this earlier.
One guy doing this. It's not even one team doing this. They are delegating these tasks to different people simultaneously because they have the funds necessary to do so. You know, one of the arguments they're making is, how are they going to make the cutscenes? They're already doing this, and this. Hey, Group A, work on Project A. Group B, work on Project B. Group C, work on Project C. Group D and E, I need you guys to work on this project together because this project is overlapping with what both of y'all are doing, that being script writing and cutscenes. It's like, do y'all not understand how business works, bro? It's fundamental shit, man. I'm not like sitting here talking like, rocket science. I'm so confused with that, man.
Yeah.
I just finished the HSR 2.7 story quest. Character speaking at 0.25 speed in the game not letting me skip made me feel like I'm being robbed off my time, for real. I agree with a fair amount of your points. However, okay, this is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the howevers. You won't get 6 weeks worth of content out of 6 weeks of work. That's fair. Consumption always takes less time than creation. No, Venom. And listen, I'm not okay, and that's fair.
That's a good comment.
Saying Hoyoverse has to give us content to do for 6 straight weeks because it's so subjective to the playtime and the free time of the character. I understand that. What I'm telling you though is they're not even doing the proper amount of content that you could put inside of these games with the amount. It's always going to go back to how much money are they making versus how much content are we getting. That's always going to be the discussion. And I'm not saying that they have to one-to-one it because that would be fucking insane. It's a business. What I am saying is that they're not doing, I would say, a 1/10 of what they could be doing. That's what I would argue.
Crazy.
They're not, because you could look at other benchmarks and see what they done with the same exact time. This is why all gacha games are booty cheeks. When you look at the benchmarks from the other games, you'll see you get a lot more bang for your buck. Giving you an example, I said this the other day. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth took 3 years. 3 years to develop.
Yeah, we went over there before. You can't see it, but it took 3 years to develop. So did Genshin Impact.
It's funny.
Oh, 4 years.
Genshin Impact took
4 years.
Approximately 4 years. It took longer. It took longer. And the launch. Okay, this is what's important.
Yeah, and then 1.0 Genshin is super dry. It's super dry. Let's see if there's any other points.
This is what's important. Hey, chat, seriously. I want y'all to understand this. You took 4 years to launch what equates to a AAA demo, right? The very first patch. After your 4 years of development time, you then launch the game, and it amounts to a demo of a AAA game. What does this mean? That means that in that 4-year development process, they dropped as little content as possible in the first.
And then here, obviously, this is just in-engine cutscenes. Like, sorry, not cutscenes. This is literally just stuff happening in-engine, like not actual cutscenes. There's a plethora of this. Can you imagine? Rather than, and I think Ryoku did show it in his, he mentioned it in his video as well. Show, not tell, right? But look at all this.
I'm just gonna let this play in the background while I yap away. So when I look at something like this and I see how they're delivering their story, right? Every ounce of this game is quite literally a cinema, including the gameplay, including the interactions, the cutscenes, the transitions, not just the cinematic cutscenes, the literal story of the game. This is it.
Yeah.
Every ounce of it, right? So what I'm trying to get you to understand is gachas can do this to a very small degree within their gacha games.
And that's important to note, a small degree. Bro isn't saying to remake Final Fantasy VII Remake and just put it in gacha games. He's saying just add a little bit of this to improve upon the current gacha space.
On a patch by patch basis. There's no excuse for them to not be able to do it with the money they made, because guess what, chat? Square Enix, which is well renowned, way more established than these gacha game companies, is only worth $4 billion. How much is Hoyoverse worth? According to Google, 20 billion, but I would argue 30 billion, right? They're not gonna, we don't know. More. We don't actually have their paper. We don't know their actual overall money that they're bringing in, because they live in China. When you look at something like this and you say, wait, that company's worth $4 billion and this company's worth $20 billion.
This is what I mean, right? Like this is like static, but he's obviously talking to them. I gotta cross my T's, dot my I's. Oh, I love Rude. Oh my God. I gotta cross my T's, dot my I's. Nothing personal.
Why can't we get this in the gacha companies? Why can't we get this in the gacha games? I don't get why you even need to explain this. No, Stelify, trust me, I'm just as baffled. What I'm doing today is shit that is so like common sense. It's mind blowing. I understand that for a lot of people in chat right now, y'all are thinking like, yeah, of course. Like, why are we even talking about this? But dude, when you go back to Twitter, you come to realize, oh, these people are actually insane. These people are actually insane. Okay, hold on. From the profit they get from us, what they give, it kind of sucks ass. Okay, yeah, okay, found an agree. Bro doesn't even have Twitter Blue. Literally doing it for the love of the game.
That is a wild image.
I don't have Twitter Blue. People thought I was farming. If I was farming, I'd have Twitter Blue and I'd be getting paid off of this shit. I'm not farming. This, let me show you an example of a farmer. This guy right here and this guy. Now, you know what? I'll be honest. I'll let Brand make it. Goofy ass take. Brand's not a farmer. I'm gonna be honest with you. Bro just, for whatever reason, ended up being Captain Save a Ho. This here's a farmer though. That's a farmer, right? Bro's actually doing it for the bag. I don't even have Twitter Blue, dog. Okay, so let's continue scrolling now because I want to find the incendiary comments. This is rage bait, but I'll bite. What a dumbass take. Bro said the cutscenes in games are all there is to the story. No, it's not.
There's literally so much leading up to those that was disproven earlier. That was disproven when we looked at the development time, right? The 3 years versus the 4 years. Obviously, they could have done a lot more with 1.0 Genshin Impact. Yeah, I mean, that was disproven, but let's see what Smack says.
Chat. When did I say the cutscenes are all there is to the story? That didn't even come out my mouth in this video. Bro said the cutscenes.
Dude, a lot of these, oh gosh, man. So many people like do this. A lot of people have even adapted the Tectone notepad, but they use it wrong. They use it incorrectly. Like, they still put words in other people's mouths, even though they're using a notepad. Like, it's so dumb. Stop making a hyperbolized generalization over something someone else said. You can't do that. You can't do that. There is nuance to statements, right? It's not fair. It's 100% not fair. And it's like, I mean, these comments just 100% get insta like if I see these comments, remove user from channel. Like I can't stop putting words in another person's mouth. It's the dumbest thing ever.
In game are all there is to the story. I never once
that
said
was never
this.
said.
I said the closer we get to an anime adaptation, the better the story is going to be. I never said that all the cutscenes are all the story. No, I'm telling y'all that to get rid of all of this convoluted dialogue, it can be transformed into a cinematic. And it doesn't have to be the highest quality of a cinematic. It has to be a mixture of them. I like how Girls Frontline did. They had a high quality.
Yeah, he brings up that they have the high quality cutscenes. They have the mid quality cutscenes, and then they have like the in-engine cutscenes, right? It's very similar to. It's probably the closest in the gacha space to like Final Fantasy VII Remake or any of those games, God of War, whatever.
Story. This ain't cutscenes. Chat, you want to know what's funny? You want to know what's funny? I got to show y'all this because this shit is hilarious. Oh, hold up. Wuthering Waves engine.
Unreal Engine 4 is what it says.
4.
I know my man's cam's in the way,
Final
but
Fantasy VII Remake engine. Unreal Engine 4.
they use the same engine. Are there like nuanced limitations? Maybe, I guess, but that's hard to use as a defense just because Remake was on console before it was on PC. So and when I say console, Remake exists on PS4 as well as PS5. So if you're saying the PS4 is more powerful than a PC, that is insane. That's wild, and you're just getting disregarded. Like, Wuwa can obviously do this. That's the point of the argument. If Wuwa's using Unreal Engine 4, then why can't they do this as well?
There's no excuse, man. There's no fucking excuse, doc.
And this is gachas as a whole. We're not like specifically talking about Wuwa or anything.
Same development time.
One thing Wuwa does well, and because, you know, there are some creators that hate that if you don't bring this up, they have the guaranteed weapon banner. I love that. The guaranteed weapon banner is great. Is it gonna cost the company money? 100%, because you don't have a 75-25 to worry about, so people are gonna spend less because it's guaranteed. But and obviously we know Hoyo, they're trying to maximize profits, so we're probably never gonna see a guaranteed weapon banner. But that is one thing that Wuwa does fantastically well. I love that. I love the guaranteed weapon banner.
Exact engine, but guys, listen, man. Oh, you can't compare. It's not fair. It's not fair, bro.
Yeah, this is another good point that I did want to cover. It being a live service game can also be an advantage And I think that's something we have to explore as well.
Service games, right? So the whole superpower of live service is to be able to constantly evolve the fucking game, transform the game. That's the superpower of it. You don't have the confinement of a AAA game that releases its game out and then, well, wrap it up, boys. You have time. You have literally time until the ends of time to constantly evolve the game. But you will never see Honkai Star Rail get them Zenless Zone Zero cutscenes in the sequence that they do them.
Someone in chat mentioned Hoyo Fair, and there's a lot of those people that have like the 3D animation with the HSR characters, and they have more flexibility than the actual animators themselves, right? Like, it's, I don't know, defending that's a little, that's a little weird. It's almost impossible to defend that, just because we've seen it from like random creators. I get this stuff in my algorithm all the time, random people that are just like making these characters move and do things that isn't actually in the game that they can easily just incorporate.
You'll never see it. Just like you'll never see Genshin Impact get the shit that you see happening in HSR. It's like basically once they drop the game, they've already made up their mind about how that game's going to be delivered, and they're not going to put any more resources into it. They're not going to evolve that shit to do what the newer games, the newer toys are doing. They're going to continue to.
I've thought about that, but I've never like put it into words. That's absolutely like so true. Like, it is what it is at this point, right? I don't see expressions ever changing for HSR. It's probably just going to be how it is. We are going to get fire cutscenes every once in a while. Like, I'm sure the new planet we're going to is going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but it's just going to it's still just going to be HSR, you know? They can 100% improve upon it. I would love to be proven wrong, but will they? Who knows?
Build it based off of the model they originally intended it for, and that's it.
Here we go. I did mention this earlier, but
let's see this. Okay, on the YouTube side, have you considered, maybe it's not because they don't want to do it, maybe it's because they cannot do it because of storage limitation. Especially the game will get bigger and bigger. So Shauna, here's my problem with that. And I've heard that argument too on the internet. Can you go back and watch cutscenes in Honkai Star Rail right now? You can't. Whatever you watch, cinema, and it's fucking done. Like, period. Same thing with Genshin Impact. So what's the problem with putting the cutscene inside of the game, and then you watch the cutscene and then it's gone, and then deleting everything behind you? Because that's pretty much how you do it, right? Furthermore, Zenless Zone Zero is already doing that. And people are complaining about their storage space on the mobile device. I get that. I understand the constrictions of a mobile game. I'm not an idiot. I understand that part. But what I'm trying to tell you is they can always just remove what the patch is done with, like they do in Wuthering Waves with these fucking time-gated events. You just remove the shit. Fuck off. We're done. You saw that cutscene already. You can go watch it on YouTube if you want to. We'll put it on the channel. But that shit taking up space. I feel like it's a problem. I mean, I feel like it's a solvable problem, Shauna. I do. You can solve that problem. You can. You're right. All these motherfuckers are hard coping. Let me find the disagreements. But Gacha Smack, my question to you is, what do you think the gacha space can do for the people who doesn't have the attention span for anything the story has to offer?
Oh, that's easy. Skip button. We don't even have to go into that. Skip button. Skip button for all of this stuff. If you don't care, you don't want to watch it, whatever. But honestly, let's say you just are a fugue enjoyer, right? Let's say you love you some fugue. If they added more like of that FF7 approach to her story, I think you would love the character even more, right? But there's just a lot of the static images. I haven't necessarily played the story, but I was watching a little bit of someone else playing through it. And there's definitely just a lot of like static images with her next to Ron May. And I'm just like, yeah, I need a little bit more than that. That's kind of why I've slowed down playing the story myself, just because I just know what it is. And I have to kind of like mentally prepare myself for that, right? One thing that I did want to mention before we wrap up is there are points that Smack EO, Tectone, whoever, there are like even myself, there are points that we make that get completely glossed over. There's cooks that we have that get completely glossed over, but the moment someone disagrees, those get hyper fixated on and they zone in on that disagreement. And here's one right here that I'm sure will not be refuted, but we'll talk about everything else that he said was wrong with Wuwa specifically, because everyone, you know, everyone wants to say Wuwa cooks with their story, when in reality it's the same formula as like other gacha stories where it's just glazing the MC.
An improvement on things that should have been good on launch. People are like, the voice acting has gotten so much better. It should have been better on launch. They had a blueprint laid out for them. I want y'all to think about this. Say what you will about Genshin Impact, them motherfuckers was carving paths. They was pioneering, bro. You know what I'm saying? They was trekking in that bitch. Like, all right, we're gonna figure, oh, that didn't work. All right, keep walking. They've been literally making the path. Wuthering Waves had the path in front of them, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta run down that bitch. So it's like, I'm not about to give you all this praise because you're improving things that should have been there on launch, bro.
Yeah, and I'm glad he actually said that, because that, now I understand where he's coming from whenever all these companies say, oh, they're fixing this, they're fixing this. It's a bit different for ZZZ because obviously there's people are 50-50 with like the TVs, right? Some people absolutely like even my video where I first said I wasn't the biggest fan of the TVs. That video is like 50. It's literally like 50-50. That's literally that's pretty much split down the middle, right? There are people that agree and there are people that disagree. If you like the TVs, it's whatever. That's cool. Now, guess what? Now you have the option to have more TV story and oriented content, but there's also like a mode where if you just kind of want to skip it. I believe they said they were implementing something like that in the next update, so that deserves praise. Something like that deserves praise because you found a way to appease both audiences, whereas something like just like really bad voice acting, like hiring people that have never voice acted a day in their lives, rather than, or even like the voice direction of like the engineer, or not the voice direction, but it's usually the engineer that gives the direction to whoever the voice actor is, right? If you saw what didn't work previously and you tried it anyway, and then now you're improving upon it, that doesn't deserve praise. And that's just essentially where he's coming from with us.
You want me to sit here and say you had a blue fucking print laid out for you and you still managed to be competitive, just competitive? Like, I'm sorry, guys. No, that is a real adult fucking evaluation there. The shit that they're doing is good, sure, but they should have already had that done.
Yeah, it's like if you were working a job, right? And you were like just off away at your job, and you just did everything wrong. You had to organize folders and place them in the correct places, right? But you mixed it up for a month straight, but then you got it right. You started organizing everything correctly and putting them in their proper spots. You're not going to get praise for that because that was your job originally. That was your job originally, and you were told how to do it. You just did it incorrectly. So that's kind of the same point. Yeah, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Please be respectful in the comments. That's all I got. Just please use critical thought when you react to this video. Please use your brain. Don't immediately be like, I think it's fine, I disagree. I need reasoning, right? I need reasoning as to why you think it's fine, or what you think they can, like these gacha companies as a whole could improve upon, right? That's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.